Welcome back to Music Now, a podcast from The Skinny talking to Scottish musicians about their music and how they make it. I'm Laurie Presswood, and this time I'm joined by Ceitlin Lilidh, Eilidh Cormack and Ellen MacDonald, better known as the Gaelic vocal harmony group Sian. Sian are perhaps best known for their work with Niteworks on tracks like Fear La and their second album, Araon, which came out in August and was jointly produced by Niteworks Innes Strachan and the prolific producer and composer Innes White. We caught up with the trio to chat about their tour preparations, adapting well-known songs, and mining the archives at the School of Scottish Studies. This episode is sponsored by the Queen's Hall, Edinburgh, where Sian are performing on 4th of December as part of the last of their Malin Lewis Presents series. Find out more about the season of gigs and get tickets at thequeenshall.net. Hello. Thank you so much for being here, all three of you.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
It's I feel very privileged that we've managed to get all of you in one place, even if I can't be there with you.
It doesn't happen very often, so.
No. And we all used to live in Glasgow, but Eilidh's recently just moved to Skye, so
It's even harder.
Yeah.
I probably feel like I'm eating into kind of precious quality time between the three of you. You could be writing another album right now. So you're off on tour tomorrow. How are you feeling?
Yes, good. Yeah, we've the reason Eilidh is down is because we've been rehearsing all week. So we had a rehearsal last night with Innes, and we've got another one tonight as well. So getting ready. This will be a bit different this tour because we've got more gadgets. We're taking more gadgets on tour. So we've been practicing with those, and it's been exciting / stressful, but we're very excited about it. So
Can I ask, do you mind me asking what sort of gadgets?
well,
Don't ask us.
Don't ask us. Yeah. I'll have to pass your details on to Innes White.
To be honest, it's actually about time I get Innes White on this podcast because we have had, we also, he was featured quite heavily when we interviewed Kim Carney recently, and she obviously works with him a lot. So I feel like he's sort of he's a featured character in this podcast, even though I've never met him.
He's working away in the background.
but he is actually the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you definitely need to get him on the podcast.
Right, well, he's on the list.
God.
What's your pre-tour routine like? I mean, obviously, rehearsal.
Oh. Well, tomorrow morning I'm going to go to yoga before we go on tour. So, that doesn't happen all the time though.
That would be quite a nice bonding activity before.
I feel like mine, will be a more stressful start.
Eilidh's is packing the car.
Yeah.
And what do we do? We always go for a coffee.
We need to get coffee.
We do get a nice
Or we
coffee
hit the
somewhere.
road.
Yeah.
And again, Innes White, main character, has the best recommendations for coffee and food places. So we always ask him for advice on where to go, and we head there first, no matter where we're off to.
Where has he recommended you for tomorrow?
TBD.
Yeah.
Don't know because we're all I don't know. It's even though we are going on tour tomorrow, the tour starts tomorrow. We're in Stirling tomorrow, but then the next gig after that isn't for another 10 days. So we're going for one gig and then we're coming home again.
We couldn't handle a full week together. We needed a wee bit of a wee kind of easing in before it starts.
That's fair enough.
But we do go to, there's a nice place in Stirling. What's
There's a nice coffee place that I can't remember the name.
Unorthodox roast.
Unorthodox.
Unorthodox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really
Great.
Big fan.
Shout out Unorthodox.
Yeah.
We're a big fan in this office as well. They could be sponsoring us.
I know.
You're kind of almost bookending the tour with Central Belt dates. You've got Stirling tomorrow, Edinburgh, the start of December, and then Celtic Connections in January. And then the meantime, the kind of meat of the tour, if you will, is up. I'm right in thinking all the dates are in the Hebrides.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've always enjoyed a wee island tour. So, and we always seem to choose November to do it. So we just pray that Cormack will be good to us.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Is there a kind of what is the kind of character of those gigs like in comparison with for example, the Toll Booth in Stirling tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean they're different. It's a different vibe, isn't it? 'Cause they're quite intimate.
Yeah, they're
your kind of village halls rather than what would you call the Tope? It's like
a theatre.
Yeah, essentially. But so they are intimate, and I guess more like familiar to all of us because we've grown up in that kind of setting.
A community audience as well. You know, I'm not that there isn't in the other venues. It just feels, I think, because we have connections to the islands, so you always know, you tend to know somebody in the audience and family attend.
Your great auntie's coming and your cousin and your and I guess it's a more Gaelic audience than you'll get in Stirling, so they like immediately have more of an understanding of what you're actually singing, so that can be nerve-wracking. But
I was going to say, nice. Does that mean that there's more room for criticism?
Definitely. They know their Gaelic songs,
So obviously you're touring the new album Araon. This and your second album. It's quite an exciting time for me and for this podcast in particular to be talking to you, because am I right in thinking this album is the first time that you have written original music or original songs as Sian?
Yeah, so on the first album we translated an old English hymn into Gaelic, but we hadn't written any new material for that album. And this one, we've written a song and we've put some music to poems that were written in Gaelic as well, not by us. So it's been exciting. It's scary though.
Yeah, I can imagine. What's the process like? What's that process been like?
It was a bit of a different process for each of the songs, I think, because Eilidh, your process for Adelaide was quite different because you went to the School of Scottish Studies. We all went there at the start of last year and we found stories that we liked and songs, and you found that particular song, if you want to explain it better than I do.
I found a story, and we can come back to Adelaide more, but I found a story which made me think that would make a great song. So I kind of built it around that story. But that's the first time I've kind of like been like, I don't know, like moved to song, like to think like, oh, I should make a song. I think rather than like you should write a song
about your feelings.
Yeah. I don't know if I can do that.
That's actually what she said when we were talking about what songs we wanted to, whether we wanted to compose songs or not. Sorry, I think my phone, something just went off there. I thought I had put Do Not Disturb on. Hopefully you didn't hear that. And we were talking about composing songs and Eilidh was like, I just couldn't write my feelings down. I just don't have enough feelings. So your process for writing suited, what you wanted to write about. I think that made sense for.
I don't know if I'm not there yet, but maybe you have to start with something that's less like exposed, like less about exposing yourself.
She's not Lily Allen.
No. But it's also like the like we've got like the old songs we sing, they tell stories, but then it's interesting to hear a story being told, like an old recording of a story being told, and then making a song from that, rather than taking an old song and making it our own. We've taken a story and turned it into a song. So it's that kind of like it's been a different creative process this album, like doing stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I did really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But it's scary to write in Gaelic. It's scary to like, when it's like a minority language, you're worried about it being right. Like you want it to be right and you want it to be.
Do you mean grammatically right or
grammatically right and like natural,
stylistically,
Gaelic, and I guess I would say it sounds like it's in like a traditional structure, like format. I was gonna say, but like it's probably quite traditional sounding rather than really contemporary sounding. But I think that's just it's like write what you know. Do you know? Again, I'm not in that like realm yet of jumping into more like freeform, which I think you're good at.
Oh, well, we
Caitlin.
didn't. First of all, disclaimer: I didn't write anything on the album, but
You wrote tunes.
we met. Well, I met a lovely lady from the Isle of Lewis who composes poems herself, and she's an amazing woman. But will not put her name to anything because she's incredibly humble and modest. But she was very helpful and gave us a lot of poems to look through. And Chid Ma Bhrúadar and Fernach Animich Me were the two that we decided to go with and put a tune to. So I was really drawn to both of them because they were her poems, but they're love songs, and they're very relatable. They could be written by it. They're modern in the way that they're written, but they're also traditional. I kind of felt like they were kind of fitted within both worlds.
They're like natural Gaelic in that sense.
Yeah.
What are the translations of those names? What are the stories of each of those?
Chid Ma Bhrúadar is Chid, like place of my dreams, isn't it?
The land of my
the
dreams.
land of my dreams. Yeah. And I think it's really beautiful in the poem. She's lost somebody, but when she falls asleep, she's there with them again, and she loves spending quality time with them there again in her dreams. So it's quite sad, but it's really poignant. It's lovely. And then Fernach Animich Me, she was quite funny about this one. She was kind of laughing that we wanted to use it because it was to her a song or a poem she'd written about somebody who she kind of thought, what if we had been together? She ended up marrying somebody else, but she had a friendly relationship with this person. They weren't together at all. It was very much what if my life was spent with you, as opposed to, how it turned out they didn't end up together. And I'd quite like that idea because it's quite a common theme in a lot of pop songs as well. What if relationships. And I like that as well, so we decided to go with that as well.
Obviously, it's not uncommon for Gaelic singers to take poetry and put it to song, and historically that has been the case, in lots of languages. But just I speak to a lot of Gaelic singers who do this, and it's fascinating because usually when you hear about someone doing that, they've uncovered poetry that's been written 300 years ago, and so the feelings and the stories and the characters are long gone, and they're not kind of raw and live wires. It's just, how did that feel, interpreting the life of someone who is very much still living and putting it out into the world?
She's very like easy ozy, isn't she? Like she's great. Like, do what you like with it. I don't care.
She actually said "Amajus na hogri," which means just like
foolish youth.
Foolish youth, yeah. She was like, "Oh, just go ahead, Amajus na hogri."
Did she mean herself or you?
Good question, actually. That is a very good point. I never considered that. Maybe it was about herself. Or she thinks that about us, maybe. I know that I suppose there is that pressure, but because she was so, she was so relaxed about it, and was quite happy that, she gave us the songs, and she gave us a whole bunch of songs as well. So we've got lots of her poems that she didn't really think, she wanted to put them to good use, I suppose. And it's nice to have modern voices as well. Like, Eilidh's written a couple of songs as well. It's nice to have those in our repertoire, as well as the old traditional songs that we're so used to singing and finding, which we did find quite a few old songs for this album too. So it was nice having the mix of the modern and the new, because that's kind of, I think that's what we are kind of going for. We like to do traditional songs with a bit of a modern twist and bring them into the kind of, the new age, or whatever you want to say.
And we also, as well as those, the opening track of the album, Ceolan, was an unnamed air that we found in the Eliza Ross collection, which Eliza Ross was a woman from Rassay, Well, she wasn't born in Rassie, was she? Was she born in
No,
India?
but yeah, she was. But her her family were lived in Razzie House in the big house there.
Yeah.
And we were lucky to take part in a couple of Blast Festival gigs, celebrating the kind of re-release of that collection. And we kind of had our pick, and we could go through the book and choose some songs that we wanted to do. And we didn't end up doing the Unnamed Air at the gig, but we really liked it, so we kind of kept it in our back pocket. And then when we were trying to come up with a kind of prelude-y kind of thing.
Yeah, and it works really well as a prelude to the album because it's an old tune, but with our voices and the kind of arrangement we have of it, it kind of feels like it's blending both kind of worlds. Like Caitlin was saying, like we've been doing with all the songs.
Yeah.
I think the album has such a clear character, like exactly what you're describing, of this blend of the traditional and the modern, and obviously I couldn't say that without pointing out that you have a adaptation and translation of Songbird by Kristen McVie on the album. What was it like translating that?
Do you know what? It was really easy.
Okay, don't show up.
I wouldn't normally say that, but because it's always really hard to find like a way to say that in like a way to say something in Gaelic and make it kind of genuine sounding, or like. But I actually wrote it one night. Like I went to bed.
It was after the studio, and
Yeah,
she
we'd
just
been in the
smashed it
studio,
out in like half an hour.
I went to
She's
bed
like
and I just
Elton
started.
John.
Eilidh John.
Eilidh John. I was like, I'll just see like how far I can get with it tonight.
Yeah.
But it was really, I mean, there's not loads of words anyway, but it just kind of, I wrote it in my notes on my phone, and I was like, that's okay actually. And then I went to sleep, and I woke up in the morning, and I was like, is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. So it didn't. It was quite easy. The hardest thing I think is actually like the phrase "I love you."
Mm-hmm.
Like, so we went for Mulgulash, which is I think what I would say. But if you'd asked me like 5-10 years ago, how would you say I love you in Gaelic, I'd be like, I don't really know if there's like a good way to say that. Closest we're gonna get.
What would the literal translation of that be?
Well, you hear people say like Hagulakamorsht, like I have love
For you.
on you, like
on
but
you, yes.
on you, but
Mogulash isn't really Mogulash, is my love is on you.
Yeah.
That's literally.
Which I guess, if you think about it, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Wow. I love you too.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's
that was surprisingly
Hagulakamorsht is kind of clunky.
It's clunky.
Isn't it?
It is clunky, yeah.
and a bit too literal.
Yeah.
And Gaelic is so beautiful and poetic sounding that Hagulakamorsht really destroys
sound
it.
nice.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
yeah. So yeah, we went for Magulash, and that flows quite nicely, like
With the melody, yeah.
It's quite nice. So yeah. But yeah, usually I struggle with translating things like that, but that one was actually quite nice to do.
Beautiful. So in terms of when you're putting together something that is, when you're bringing together a track that is a pre-existing song, how do you approach the arrangement of it?
Well, so yeah, we find the songs and then we sing them to the main character of the band, Innes White, and then he obviously he comes up with a guitar arrangement, but then I think we sometimes have an idea in our head of what we want the song to sound like or the feel of the song. I think that's important.
Oh, sorry, my cat is meowing.
Cat needs to get in.
Oh, that was very sad.
What was I saying? Yeah, so when we sing the songs for Innes, where the feel of the song is important. Innes is he speaks Gaelic as well, so he understands the words too. But it's getting the feel right, and then I sometimes think we maybe have an idea of what the song want it to sound like, but then sometimes it takes a whole other shape, and you're like, wow, I never knew it could sound like that, and it sounds really cool. And a good example of that is Peach Roic, which is on the new album, and it's really epic, and I didn't think it would. I just didn't, and it deserves to be epic. It's a great song, but you just never. Sorry, I'm so distracted by the cat. We just didn't expect it to be so epic, So like Page for Heroic, it's got like a really cool bass line. It's got a string section. There's loads of harmonies going on. Clapping. It's groovy. So I think that's a good example of taking a song and then collaborating with lots of people. And actually, going back, when I first heard that song, I've heard it on Topan and Dulcish, which is a website we all use and lots of Gaelic singers use, an archive website, Kista Riches, and I just found a recording of somebody singing it. I can't remember how old the recording is, but it's pretty old, and so to hear it, to go from that original recording of somebody singing it 50 years ago, 60 years ago, to what the arrangement we have now and what it sounds like now is amazing to see the process.
I'd love to hear them side by side.
Because you also actually came with 2 different tunes.
Yeah, that's right. I found 2 different melodies to the song, and we were actually deliberating about which one to go for, and at one stage we were talking about merging the 2. Which maybe would have been a bit much. So that's what's really fun. Sorry, I was going to say it's really fun about the old songs is finding the old songs and finding almost original's not the right word, but finding as a recording as old as you can go that's still decipherable, and trying to figure out the melody. And obviously someone else could listen to the same recording and pick up the melody differently, but that's what's really cool about it, is your interpretation of it, and then trying to find the words, and then you'll find lots of different versions of the songs in different books. And
you had hundreds of verses.
Loads of verses.
And what does Peach Roig mean?
It means the page of the Roag man, literally. So Roag or men, sorry. Roag is a place on the Isle of Skye in the north end,
near Dunvegan.
There's also a Roag in Uig as well, in Isle of Lewis, because remember one point we weren't sure which Roag it was.
And the story the song is a conversation between, the first half of the song is the woman speaking, and then the second half is the man speaking, and she has been very taken by this page of Roach, which is like a servant. So she was very taken with him, and they would meet up in secret. And it's quite not graphic.
Raunchy?
It's a wee bit raunchy.
It's a wee bit raunchy.
Ellen carefully picked the raunchy verses.
I did, yeah. Like Gaelic songs, Gaelic needs a bit of raunch sometimes. Please don't clip that up.
Too late.
Already done.
So she's describing some of their meetings and what happened, and but then this is what's interesting about the song, is when I was looking at all the different verses, is there's kind of similar verses, like he said this, she said this, but in other versions it would be the other way round. Mm-hmm. So it was trying to pick the verses that I thought told the story, and I hope I've done it correctly. But so she has been. She thinks that he's been hearing gossip about her. I don't know what the gossip was, but he's gone past her one Sunday morning without acknowledging her, and so she thinks he's been listening to this gossip and believing it. And she has also found out that she's pregnant. And then the second half of the song is him saying that, basically saying that she's misinterpreted that, and that he would never believe a bad word about her or say a bad word about her until his dying day. But there were like hundreds of verses, and we would have been like there for half an hour singing the song if we sang them all. So need to whittle it down.
We had a lot of fun with that song as well. We filmed a music video for it, and I think the postman is here, or
another visitor.
Sorry, hang on. Do you want to talk?
Yeah, so we did. We recorded a music video for Patriot Dog, and we had a lot of fun with it, creating the story in the video. We got a dancer involved, and so he played kind of the page of Roag, and but it's a very fun, creative video, because it's not it's not really the story of the song, but it's a lot of fun with costume and movement and different kind of positions. We all had kind of things that we liked, and we wanted it to kind of look like. So it's very colourful and fun, and a good dance routine.
Yeah, I know we didn't want to be too literal with the words, but we had a few themes that we wanted to portray through the costumes. And like at the very beginning, we're all quite what did we call them? We had the different costumes.
Yeah, we had
gothic,
land girl,
romantic.
Sorry, what's land girl?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Very good question. I'm not sure. I think Vogue will probably pick up on it soon.
Yeah, Fair Isle.
It was a Fair Isle sweater vest and corduroy trousers was the look. That was the kind of vibe. And you had a sweater vest on as well.
I did, yeah.
So yeah, there were different kind of themes coming through with the costumes, and a few kind of looks here and there, kind of in reference to some of the lyrics. So we had a lot of fun with that. And we were filming around Glasgow for a couple of days, so it was great.
So obviously we kind of touched on Adelaide a little bit earlier, but I'd love to hear kind of how this process took shape, kind of more specifically in that instance.
Yeah, so as Ellen was saying, and Caitlin, we went to School of Scottish Studies, and we were having a really good trawl. I think we went twice or maybe 3 times, and it's an amazing place. So I was kind of like picking things up any way that I quite liked, and I thought, oh, we'll keep that for some other time as well, and like picking things up. And then I came across a story by this man I'm quite obsessed with on Topper and Dopage, but he was called the Reverend Turamit Donalach, Norman MacDonald, and he lived in Valtos in Skye, up the north end, and he has a great voice, but he was actually telling a story, and it was a really long recording. It was like a good 20-minute long story, so luckily there was a transcription, so I didn't have to do that myself. Thank you so much, School of Scottish Studies. But so I was really taken by it. So it was about a woman, and she'd had a boyfriend, I guess, or a sweetheart, and he'd gone off to Australia a few years before.
When is this story from? Sorry,
we don't know, but this recording's probably like 60s, 70s, but there's no kind of date on it, but there's still dowries and things like that. So I guess you can presume it's a wee bit older. But so he goes off to Australia, and he sends a letter back a few years later telling her to come over and be with him, and they can get married, and to bring a dowry, and as you did. So she packs up all her belongings, and she goes off with her dowry, and I think it's like £300 and a big chest of meat and stuff, probably.
What every girl wants.
I guess
what every man wants.
Yeah, probably wouldn't last till he got to Australia. But, so anyway, she heads off and she arrives in Adelaide, and he comes to meet her, but she kind of feels like something's off. But she goes off with him anyway, and then they're like traveling through all these like stormy conditions, and then he just like throws her off the horse and like throws her into the water, takes her dowry, and like makes off with it and leaves her for dead, basically. But she pulls herself out of the water, and basically at the end of the story she gets her own back, and she goes and climbs on them all, and he gets hung at the end of it. So he gets his comeuppance. But I was just really taken with it, and I thought it's such a good like narrative, obviously because it's a story, but like it was such a good narrative, and I just thought it would make a really good song. So then I started picking out bits, and because he told it in such a nice way, there was lots of like little like phrases and like turns of phrase that I wanted to use that he had used in the story. So I was trying to kind of fit that into the song. I just thought it'd be like a good walking song, because walking songs are so off. Well, obviously mostly composed by women, but
and don't get written like they were written back in the day. Yeah, but they don't get written anymore as a walking song. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
So it's quite cool to have a new one.
But it was like the walking process was like a safe space for women to like air their grievances and like talk about terrible things that happened to them. Do you know? So like I just thought this would be like that would be the right kind of structure for that story, particular story. So that's why it's in the kind of structure of a walking song. So it took a while. That one wasn't as easy as Songbird, but I actually enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good.
It's great as well because there's a slightly timeless quality to it. Obviously, Diary is not timeless, but and taking a box of meat to a man halfway around the world, and hopefully being thrown off a horse and left for dead. Hopefully that's not timeless, but the kind of connection between Scotland and Australia is something that is so present in contemporary life. Every person knows at least 3 people from school who have left to seek a better life in Australia. The connections between Edinburgh, where I live, and Adelaide specifically are very strong.
Oh wow!
Like we make a magazine in Adelaide. We make Fest magazine in Adelaide once a year during the Adelaide festivals. So it's there's just something really sort of very now about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
It really interesting. I mean, like obviously there's such a big diaspora of like Scottish people who emigrated over, but yeah, I did think it's still something like even from Skye, like where I'm from, so many people have left and gone over there to like make like better opportunities for themselves, and like it's still like as you say, people I went to school with, like there's loads of people in Australia. It's quite mad, but yeah. So and then the debate was what to call it, but we just thought we'd stick with Adelaide because I don't know. I guess it was. I don't know why we chose an English title, but yeah, I guess we were talking about Australia or like just what to call it, and yeah, I just think Adelaide it's a nice word, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it's sort of if you don't know what the song is about, it can have a slightly ambiguous meaning because Adelaide can also be used as a woman's first name, so it kind of draws you in. I think particularly as an English speaker myself, it's as bad as this is, I see it and I think, well, that's a word I recognise. I wonder what that story's about.
Yeah.
Draws you in.
Good. It's done its job.
There are a couple of songs on the album, like I said earlier, of Pecha Fiaroic, that have a kind of a bit of a groove to them, and I can't help but wonder whether that is Innes Strachan of Niteworks' influence. Is that fair?
Well, yes, but
I would say Paige was in a Strachan.
Yeah, that was we'd kind of the way Innes Strachan and Innes White co-produced it, and they divvied up the tracks kind of between them, and also obviously helped one another throughout the whole process. But yeah, the groove is maybe in Paige's probably because of Innes. Yeah.
When I did play the first demo of that, my boyfriend did say that's an Innes Strachan track.
Oh, really?
as soon as he heard it. So yeah, no, I think he definitely has a sound. So it was really cool to work with both Innes White. Well, we obviously work with Innes all the time, but it was nice to have those two kind of. I mean, they're both exceptional in their own way, so it was nice to work with both of them. And
it was kind of the first time they'd really worked together.
Yeah.
As well. So I think they enjoyed it. I thought it worked really well.
Yeah.
That kind of blend of.
And they're both now up for Producer of the Year at the Trad
Yes.
Awards.
Yes. I know. And in fact, Araon is also up for Album of the Year at the Trad Awards. So we're really happy about that.
Congratulations.
But yes, it was. Thank you. It was great having them on board, and with them as well. With Paige Feroic, Himi Grian, Ferravate, we got Charlie Stewart on board to do the strings, so he was amazing and arranged those. And we had an incredible lineup of musicians who we will have with us for the first time in January at our Celtic Connections gig. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah.
That's the first time we'll perform everything as it was recorded, I suppose, with all of our friends with us on stage. So that's nice.
Beautiful. It's very exciting. Well, I'm really looking forward to that. Get your tickets now before it presumably sells out quite quickly.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here and chatting to me.
Thank you so much.
I can see you in a village hall soon, hopefully.
Yes.
Thanks to Caitlin, Eilidh and Ellen for talking to us. This episode is sponsored by the Queen's Hall. The final Malin Lewis Presents show is on Thursday the 4th of December with Sian, Malin Lewis Trio and Fluke. Find out more about the season of gigs and get tickets at thequeenshall.net. Sian is off on a small halls tour of the Hebrides this week, followed by a performance at the Barony Hall on Thursday the 22nd of January as part of Celtic Connections. The Music Now podcast was hosted by me, Laurie Presswood, produced and recorded by Peter Simpson, with sounds and music by Brian Pecora. Thanks for listening. If you like the podcast, give us a review on your podcast app and spread the word. And we'll be back with another episode next month.